Hi, Story Gordon here. How's it going? The end is near. This video is about what I call an epilogue, the summary. This is the end of the journey. The final video in a playlist on successful leadership in 3 dimensions. If you've watched all the clips, you know that the 3 dimensions are leading, following, and getting out of the way, with each dimension having 2 directions, direct and indirect. This came to me because of a sign I saw on a manager's wall, in fact, several managers' walls in the early 70s. The sign looked something like this: lead, follow, or get out of the way. Of course, the premise then was, I'm your leader. Either follow me or get out of the way. I think we know better today. Successful leadership means achieving success, which is essentially meeting goals, setting goals and meeting them. That's all success is. How many successes have you had today? You get up, you clean up, you get dressed, you eat, you make it to work, you do success after success after success. Leadership. What is leadership? One of my favorite verses on leadership is in the 17th verse of the Tao Te Ching. I like the Witter-Benner version. And without wanting to encroach on copyrighted material, I'll basically say the verse says this. It identifies what bad leaders are, worse leaders are, but the best leader is that one when the work is done, when the goals are met, the people on the team say, we did this ourselves. I've had the good fortune to do this. I'm going to close with a story, and I hope you understand the meaning, because this happened to me when I was 20 years old. I was teaching. I was an electronics instructor in the Air Force, teaching about 25 students, 6 hours a day, 5 days a week. I was teaching the FPS-3 ground radar system installation and maintenance course, 6 weeks, 2 3-week phases. And we met from 6 to noon, Monday through Friday. My boss, my first sergeant, came to me and said, Hill, I got a new class for you next week, but don't worry about it. If they all fail, it won't count against you. See, we were measured on how many of our students passed and how many failed. He said, look, these are all losers. They've all washed back or failed a phase at least once in the course. So if you lose them all, it won't matter to me and it won't go on your record. I do not know what caused me to do this. I wish I could say it was genius. But I was 20 years old, I was a bit of a maverick, a hard-nosed, and I said, if they fail, it's going to be because they chose to fail. On the first morning, I put a 10-question quiz on the board and told them if they didn't get 7 right, they would be in study hall, which was an additional 2.5 hours a day. Well, I made the test hard enough so they all failed. For the next 3 weeks, I had them 6 hours in the morning, 2.5 hours in the afternoon. At the end of the 3 weeks, they all passed. Now, I would like to say, patting myself on the back, that it was because of my genius. But I don't think that's what happened. I think they all passed because I eliminated their excuse for failure. They couldn't say we didn't have enough time. They couldn't say the instructor didn't spend enough time with us answering our questions and explaining what we didn't understand. They all passed. And in the next 3 weeks, I put a test up on the first day just as a joke, and they all failed it. And I think they all failed it on purpose so they could go to study hall and pass the next 3 weeks. Of course, they had an ulterior motive too, because if you were in study hall, you didn't have to police the grounds or pull KP or do CQ. So they got to have study hall in a nice air-conditioned building in the summer on the coast of Mississippi. Well, that's it. Lead, follow, get out of the way, directly, indirectly. And the results are measured by how everyone says at the end of it, we did this ourselves. This is Story Gordon saying, thanks for sticking around. I've got more videos to come. If you like this, I'd appreciate a subscription. And if not, don't tell your friends to ignore it. I'll see you later. Bye for now.